Reading also does help your writing skills and your perception to things. My wife reads a bit more than myself. She is also an author. She's a writer. She's written some financial literacy books for kids. So she goes into the minds of some of the target audiences and she writes about things around them. So it helps in that regard. So this is what I've found about reading. So a few years ago, I came across a book, and I actually know that particular author. It's a guy called Victor Komaswana. He's a guy from South Africa. He's traveled quite a bit. He's traveled extensively within Africa. He's passionate about Africa. So he writes this book. You can look it up. It says, Africa is open for business. He was tired. This guy used to run a podcast, and then he used to run this radio show around Africa. And he was tired about the narrative about Africa, African authors, and African narrative. And he wrote this book around almost all the countries in Africa. I think he's traveled to all the countries in Africa, and he's bringing out opportunities that are found in these particular countries. He tells you also the challenges that are there. But he says it in this way. You know, when you are doing your strategy and you come across the SWOT analysis,
yes,
you would do your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats, right? Then they tell you that your weaknesses are areas that you can also turn into opportunities.
Yes. Because
you want to see how do you leverage them and how do you exploit them and the opportunities as well. So he has a twist towards the different challenges of Africa. Even countries that went to war. If you go to Rwanda right now, there's a genocide in Rwanda. Do you know that Rwanda is among the best branded countries in Africa currently?
Yes.
Yeah? They spinned the narrative around the genocide to the extent that when you visit Rwanda, they'll actually take you to a whole museum that tells you a whole story around the genocide. Okay? And then this narrative is around how they've unified that country, that it has become, they are positioning it now as a business hub for Africa. They are also positioning it as a technology hub for Africa. All the tech meetings must happen in Africa. I used to play basketball when I was a little younger. I was actually, believe you me, I used to play for the school team. I can't play. I look like basketball myself right now. But Rwanda, the NBA, Africa NBA office actually is in Rwanda. They want to move a narrative where all these big offices around the globe, if they open in Africa, they must open in Rwanda. It is also a MICE hub. If there are those that from Eastern Province, MICE is not what you think it is. So MICE is an acronym in tourism for meetings, incentives, conferences, and events. This is the business side of tourism, where you call big meetings to come and be held here in Zambia. So a United Nations meeting comes and be held in Zambia, and then you get the value of people traveling at once. And then they also have the benefit of then going to see the different aspects of your country and enjoy your fauna and flora. So that's Rwanda. They've positioned themselves like that as a destination. Yeah, they are pushing the narrative. So this guy, he says Africa is open for business. He gives this narrative around Africa, around its tourism, around its minerals and everything else, and you go into a country, delve into it, show you the big picture, show you the challenges in a way that they are seen as an opportunity and you're attracted to go that. He is African. He is pushing the African narrative. I told you I'm passionate about Africa. Very recently here in our country, the Ministry of Tourism had hosted a whole United Nations Tourism Summit, which they were calling Brand Africa. This is where African leaders come together and they actually say, in simple terms, how do we want Africa to be viewed by a story that is told by Africa to the rest of the world? So the rest of the world has a narrative. They want to position Africa in a certain way. And that's what you see in the Western media. but it's African authors that have the power within their hands, their pen and pencil, and then they drive the narrative around Africa through their storytelling. Storytelling is a big, big aspect of creative writing, and you can change the narrative around your situation, your area, and your area of influence because you are storytelling. So here is my word to authors that we have this evening. You play a role that is very important to the extent that this country actually acknowledges that you are in that bigger picture or subsector called the arts under the Ministry of Youth, Sport and Arts. And you have places such as National Arts Council and everything. In tourism, I would often have writers that would come to me and we say, can we be part of your influencers? All we will do is that you will pay for our going to the different parts of this country, and then we'll write about that country, we'll come and tell our stories, and we'll push it onto your social media platforms, and this becomes content, authentic content, that is positioned by the narrators of those authors that have experienced Africa. Okay? So there's lots that is there to be said, especially about Zambia. This is a country like no other. You have the power in your hand to talk about it, the culture that we experience. This is a country that has over 70 ethnic groups. These groups are diverse in nature, but unified in that we can say this is a country that is one Zambia, one nation. We do not go to war. You can imagine other places where the two ethnic groups and they go to war. We do not go to war. 70 ethnic groups not going to war. Out of these 70 ethnic groups, as a country, we enjoy a culture that can be showcased in over 90 traditional ceremonies. It's believed that in Zambia, if we were to spread them, every month you would be going or attending at least 3 or 4 traditional ceremonies. They all speak about our heritage, where we come from as a people, and we are united in our heritage. This is a country, you can travel the length and breadth and width of this country. The people are known to be very warm and welcoming people. And when we go and position this country, whether it's from an education point of view, an investment point of view, or a tourism point of view, or cultural point of view, depending, doesn't matter, whichever way you look at the country, authors have an opportunity to talk about it in its various assets, in its various facets, because this is a country like no other. In the region, we do not have any country like this one. We enjoy over or close to 40% of the fresh waters of this region in this country. The president keeps reminding us that we should stop calling it a landlocked, but we should refer to it as a land-linked country. This is a country that is land-linked, meaning we have an opportunity for it to be both a tourism hub, it could also be a cultural hub. It could also be a regional hub for authors, and also it could be a regional hub for aviation. What we could position it is a country, you land within this country, and then we can fly you within 2 hours to any of our neighboring countries. Is it 8, 9 plus others that are joined by the lake? The president had gone to Angola, to Lobido. I hope we are interested in that narrative to say we can actually connect this country to that sea by rail, and there's lots of business opportunity, and that story can only be told by ourselves because we're the ones that can champion the narrative. So this Zambia is beautiful. There's so many things that you can be said about this country. If I was going to tell you about the length and breadth of this country, we would spend the whole night talking about Zambia. 752,000 kilometers squared. A third of that is protected area, national parks and game management areas. With the Kafue Park, 42,000 square kilometers, the biggest national park, with the most prestigious national parks that you find in this country, South Luangwa. You have the Kafue itself, you have Lower Zambezi, and many others, 20 of them. And then you have the vast rivers. you have the Victoria Falls. We are told that it was discovered by someone, by David Livingstone. I just want to change the narrative again. He just came across it. And then,
like who took him there?
and then who took him there? And then there's this beautiful, and then there's this beautiful story. But this is a country, I hope you know, we have in the world, the largest population of hippos is found in Zambia. In the world, the largest migration of mammals is found in Zambia, in the Kasaka National Park. Just a few weeks ago, in October, you have over 10 million bats in that place. Those looking for fruits. That story is in Zambia. The second largest wildebeest migration in Africa is found in Zambia, in the Liuwa Plains. Only second to what you find in Tanzania and Kenya, which is in the Serengeti. So this is a story like no other, and that story can only be told by those that write. And can only be explored by those that read. So I invite you to reading, and I invite you to exploring the beautiful side of Zambia. And let us be the ones that champion this narrative. I love this country. I love this continent. I hope you love it too. I hope you love everything that it has to say. So with those very few remarks, you do not give a marketer space to speak. Let me end here. Thank you.
Lungu, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It was a story that we didn't expect, and here we are. Thank you.
Thank you so much.